one thing to cut off just a little piece of tomato in order to make a plant healthier, it is another to cut an entire branch off. Oh snap. Today I'm going to share with you one way to prune some of your tomatoes, especially these indeterminate ones that are just massive and they just keep growing and growing to the point where this one's about 8 feet long as it goes over the trellis and around and just keeps going. And we don't want that. At some point we run out of trellis and would rather have new growth at the beginning. And I'll show you a couple different plants and some various results that I've had. Here is how to prune the tomato plant and what to look for before trying this. Here are 2 sun gold tomatoes that have really, they've really gotten baked. There are no more tomatoes on them. Ooh, actually there's a couple. However, they've been pretty stagnant for the last couple of months because the heat from the Arizona sun just cooked them. But you can see right now, check it out. There is some new life coming back at the base of the stems. So I am going to give it a massive haircut. You can see a little bit more. I should show there's a few more spots where there's some life coming back. However, if this is where the growth begins and then we don't have any of this dry, it just looks kind of awful, and put that energy into these branches. Oh man, though, I will admit this is still hard to do. Oh jeez. And there's a little bit of green right there. Okay. Check that out. Look how pretty that is right there. Here we go. This is big time. I'm not sure if I want to call that new growth or not, so why not? New growth right there. And now it's just swinging. Oh, that's crazy. Of course, there is the removal of massive limbs off the trellis and fix everything else affected by the removal, like the yard-long beans that help themselves to the extra tomato trellis. There are times when a massive prune should go to the extreme, to the point where you should just take out the tomato plant and start over. However, sometimes you don't want to kill a plant entirely. This lemon boy is an example where I did not wait for growth along the bottom for various reasons, which I'll share in the next video. I still thinned out many of the branches for better or worse. Bonus tip, make sure any of your friendlies make it off the plant before you take it off. You got it, little guy. Pruning done. How did the tomato plants do in the short term? This is during the monsoon season, which normally triggers tomato growth with the additional rain and humidity. I was disappointed to find this morning. It just didn't quite make it. However, check out the one over here. This is pretty happy. Now, there's definitely some infestation with the cowpeas right next to it are not. I don't know if they're just taking the aphids away, but check out that growth. And that's despite the fact that we've been having some storms, and so rather than letting the storms break my ramshackle shade structure right here, I allow the cloth to go off. It probably happens sooner than I would like to in the afternoon. But this is pretty exciting to see how hardy this sun gold has been. This is 108 degrees that it's surviving these hotter temperatures right now. So that's pretty encouraging and pretty exciting, but disappointing to see that the established sun gold there didn't quite make it, but that one did. To give the full view of the other established tomato plants, this is the lemon boy. Oh, is that a little green bud down there? Look at that. It could be right there. I really thought this was dead because if you look all the way up here, there is nothing that's green. when we look at this sun gold, which this actually had green on it. It had green on the very tips, but you can see here we're like 5-6 feet away from the base where there's some signs of life, but nothing down here has really popped up so that I can cut it back and not feel bad about totally killing it because there's no leaves for photosynthesis. But that one just showed up. So, giving it another, I mean, there's no rush here because there's already a lot of dead dry stuff on top. Ooh, hello little tomato. I'll eat you. Checkpoint number 2 at the beginning of November. The first sun gold is now a patch of radishes. The second sun gold, all of that first round of growth has died off, but there is a second round of growth that's now coming in really nicely. At 4 months, the lemon boy is most definitely dead. However, I will say in this one's defense, I did not allow for leaves to grow down at the base, and instead I was doing some different pruning for very different reasons. So I'm not sure that I would truly call this part of the experiment because I didn't use the same method, and you can see where I went wrong. Last, I paid attention to the signs of this third sun gold. It looks beautiful, and hopefully it will overwinter, and 2 of the 3 sun golds should last for a couple years. If you cut the major arms off when there's no growth, you might as well cut it off at the base at that point and just start over with a brand new plant, which isn't a terrible option. Sometimes you just want a fresh start. However, if you do happen to love the fruit that's coming off of it, this is an option. Again, listen to your plants. I'm cutting this one in November. I cut the other ones in August when there was a sign of some new growth, and it's not always going to be a perfect thing where, they don't all make it. Hopefully you find this helpful. If you have any additional comments, please add them. And I will follow up on how these plants do over the winter and into the spring in a follow-on video right here. Thanks for watching.